Alright, let's get into the download of the Jail Cell Block Model Loop download from RP Stock. It's a lot simpler than the long title there. You have After Effects, C4D projects, and you have one clip of the stock footage of the constantly looping prison scene here. And you can go into the After Effects project right here. And this was created in 2018, CC 2018. And if we open it up, you'll see we have a few comps in here and pre-comps. This is all the zooming in image for this one. You can change the text by going to the enter text here, 01, and typing in your text. Just keep it above that line. You can also, if you want, maybe you want to put an image in there or something's going in there, just make sure it's above that line. So then when you head to the text 01 composition, you know, you got the little circle there with the little reflection, and you got some shadows there. So you can want a red egg in your prison scene, you got it. And that's pretty much all it is. You can go out to the main comp, you can create like two different text things it fades on, and it's a constant loop. As long as you could duplicate this and put it right here and keep it going. It can go as long as they're back to back here and not overlapping. It'll constantly go, and it's a fun little project. So if you ever had anything that needs a jail cell, here you go. And since we're in After Effects, I'm going to show you how we can implement this in Element 3D. So if you create a new comp, and we're going to layer, you want to select a solid, and you're going to put the element effect in there. But before we do that, we have to open up Element here and navigate to your models library. And I'm just going to go to, let's see, one of these, and then you just right click and show an explorer. And we got that right now. And now if we navigate to our download here, C4D, Element 3D, and you can just drag, Option hold, and copy it into this models preset. So if we navigate back to After Effects, and we'll want to close this out because it's not in there yet. You have to reinitialize Element here. So there's your jail cell single block. Now we got two things in here, the jail cell and then that C4D file that's also in that folder. If you click on the jail cell single block, and then it comes up with all these, because it's in here 4 different times, and I'll show you why those are in there. You can just right click and make sure you're not on a material, just do remove unused materials, and it'll just show up what you need in these things. If you're having any issues with what's linking, you can see you can right click and do replace model, and when you do that, you navigate to the jail cell single element file and import that, and that's all it's referring to. And then you can go through here, and these are the textures right here that are in the texture maps folder. So if you're having any linking issues, that's how you do it, and then you can just go through and see all the different textures that are associated. They're duplicated a couple times here because I made auxiliary animations for the left and right door. And you also have an end railing cap, so if you needed to make sure no one fell off of there. So if we turn that off and hit OK, we got our jail cell here, and you can light the scene and do whatever you want just as Element 3D. You can also, put this in a replicator. I was messing around with this a little bit. You won't be able to get it kind of like the C4D project, but I think I put it on 3D grid and then made, 4 on X, 1 Y, and 1 Z, and then you adjust the scale, shape scale. You can kind of like make them so they're intersecting here, and it looks like a long line. You put a camera in there, and you can go shoot down the other side. So you can light this and do whatever you want. It's just an added bonus to this download here. So now if we jump over to C4D, you get, let's go back to the download folder. You get 4 different C4D files. You got a jail cell single block, you got various angles and door closing effectors, you got the jail zoom middle MoGraph cloners, and the jail zoom middle objects no cloners animation. So if you don't have MoGraph, you will be able to open up this jail cell single block and do whatever you want with that. You got the textures in there and everything you need to go. So if we navigate to, let's check out this effector stuff. So if you go to the angles and door close effectors, the way this thing operates, in order to create the looping effect, I don't actually animate the camera. I animate the rate that the cloner is moving at. So if you go down to the ceiling clone here, and you head down to rate, you'll notice it's at -5. Now they all have to be at the same amount for it to work. So if, let's say I hit play right here, it's going to take a little while for it to, it's a heavy scene. The way that the rate works is that you play it and another one spawns at the end. So let's see if we can actually see it happen. I mean, there's a lot of cloners in here. There's a lot of mesh. See how it appears right there? That's another cell block right there that just happened to show up. So in order to change that rate, I mean, you can make it go the other way. Is this espresso tag right up here. It's set to -5 and it changes all the cloners. So -5 means it's coming at you. And then, if you add plus here, you can also change it to 0 and not have it move at all. And that actually needs to happen in order for, if we go through these cameras right here, you'll see you got camera 1, which is the main zoom in. You got camera 2, which is this side angle here. Now camera 3, you make that rate 0 so nothing's moving. And what this camera is it backs up into the cell block. So it starts outside, comes in, the door closes. Let's see if we can play through it here. It slowly backs out and then the door shuts. It's a different look, some variations for whatever you want to do in here. And camera 4, I think, is a high angle. We're up there with a high angle. All right, so now these are the ceilings, the floors, and you have, this one's turned off. It's just a single cell for camera 3 if you just wanted to do the single cell. And you can turn off, if you turn off the symmetry, and we head back into camera 1 here. Head back into camera 1. Now the symmetry is just mirroring what's on the right side here. And if you scroll down here and we go to single cell block, that's making the row right there. And if we unclick off our camera, you can see the original, this guy right here. It's a heavy moving scene. It's pretty cool. I mean, the renders turn out pretty good. Turn on the symmetry. And you have an effector right here. You can kind of see it in the middle here, this pink guy. And what happens when the rate changes and the door passes by. So let's see here. So if we change the rate to back to -5 and we head to camera 2 so you can kind of see the door. You see how the door is open here, the door is closed here. The effector's right here. So as this prison scene moves this way, it will shut the doors. And it's just kind of a cool thing. The plane effector's right here. And you can kind of see how I did all that. If we head over to zoom middle MoGraph cloners, this is just the cloners. There's no effectors. Nothing's moving here. And you control the rate, speed, and all that stuff right here. It looks like it's at -10. All those will move. What other things do we have in here? We have no cloners and no animation. So this is the scene totally broken down. It might move a little quicker because there's no cloners in there. Thanks for taking the time to see what's in this download for this gel cell block. Hope you guys enjoy it, and visit rpstock.net for templates, elements, and a bunch of free downloads.